right now. All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's Friday time for that raunchy romance. You know what's up, okay? Let me make sure I got my cards together here for you. I'm gonna use some different decks. I got Pret. It's gonna be actually really awesome to use different decks. The Tarot of Sexual Magic and this really raunchy deck. Let's see these pictures. Okay. All right. So remember, this is for 18 and over. Okay. If you are under the age of 18, you should not be watching this raunchy romance video. Okay. You should not be having raunchy romances. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's get ready to read. I'm going to start things off. Let me see. Let's start it off with the Dorian Virtue. Okay. Ooh, Dorian Virtue romance. I'm going to keep shuffling. I think that was just me being clumsy. Okay. What we got here? My friends here. Raunchy romance. We got Mercury moving direct pretty soon. So this is going to be some of the last of the kind of like strange issues in our communication. Those of you who are having issues in communication with your family, those of you who are having issues with technology or any kind of lack of clarity, anyone needing to go back and recap, right now we're about to move forward, okay? So the things that we have set into motion should be starting to manifest, okay? Let's check it out. Free yourself, okay? So this is going to be overarching in this whole reading, okay? Look at this beautiful creature trap. And it's one thing to be in your natural habitat, but it's another thing to be tied down and bound. It's time to take back control of your life. Pay attention to the red flags. This one is telling us that the signs are cautioning you. That means that we need to be careful and pay attention to the details in our romances. Pay attention to things that you may find to be slightly unsavory, really. It's important for us to keep our eyes open and peeled and make sure that we are on the path, the romance, let's say the path of love and the path of romance that is really, where we're really called to be as far as on that path. We've also got new love, okay? Okay, as a person is stirred, your romantic feelings. So the important thing here for us to take from Dorian Virtue here is to understand that that we love and we offer love and we live in this life of love at our own discretion. We are not bound or obligated to do anything or perform in any way, and we're not obligated to be in relationships that we don't like at all. And now these can be family relationships. These can also be, romantic relationships. These can be business partnerships and those kind of relationships. Like we're not obligated to. Sorry, I just love to do this. I love this little brush like that. But we're not obligated to. We're not obligated to do any of that. We're free. Okay. All right. I already said that 3 times. All right, here we go. Let's get this party started. Okay, Tarot of the Sex Magic. God, help us understand love. Help us to understand the sense of magic here. Help us to understand our sense of life. Our connection to this material world. Help us to tap into our creativity, our Kundalini power. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Thank you in advance for all the blessings and abundance you have provided for us. You've given us the heart of love. It conquers all. Okay, first card we got. I'll show these to you. But we've got the world reverse in love. Okay, we've got the high priestess, the world crossed by the high priestess. The ace of wands, reverse. So wait. All three of these reverse. The ace of wands reverse. From our past, we've got judgment reverse. In our kind of conscious mind and our thoughts, we've got the seven of pentacles reverse. Okay. And we've got the four of pentacles upright moving into the future. This current situation is read by the three of swords. Okay. Heartbreak, y'all. The eight of swords is the current environment, environmental factors, and kind of the situation on the ground now. Some people are trapped, feeling trapped mentally. Hope sphere, subconscious mind. We got the magician upright. That's good for me because that's me, baby. And the two of pentacles upright in the final kind of transcendent spiritual outcome of this reading. Okay, so the tricky part about this here is that at the bottom of the deck is another reverse card. Okay, so the tricky part about this is that we've got the Knight of Chalices reverse. Okay, so this Knight is basically the story right here is that this Knight is just tromping through the forest. Okay, and if anyone knows about the Knight of Chalice, he comes generally with offers of love and just deep emotional offers here that you can bank on because of the sincerity. All right, and he's very stabilized. He's very grounded. He's not just a wishy-washy guy, but he is very picky and particular. Okay, so when we've got this card in reverse, he's wondering what is it. Not only is he wondering upright, what is this beautiful maiden doing in the lake right here, but in the reverse position, this is a bit more of an attitude of disdain, an attitude of disgust, almost like who's that dirty girl in the water over here. So he approaches this environment with suspicion. He approaches this with a slight hesitation, reservation. Okay, so that's at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that means a lot of us are really kind of stopping. We're trying to stop and kind of reassess some of the energies that are going on, some of the trajectory that we've been walking on, and wondering if this is the right path for us and how this path needs to change. Some of us are questioning. We're having moments of that are testing our faith. Okay, testing our faith in love, testing our faith in ourselves, and testing our faith in our ability to manifest the love and the life that we want. So as we're reaching this challenge, it's going to be important for us to really pay attention to, especially when I get this about the red flags, we've got to pay attention to what's really happening, what's really in the water, which of these cups are divinely sent and delicious and running over, and which one of these are lace poison. Okay, which one of these tonics and brews is actually dirty, dangerous, okay, and something that we need to stay away from. Okay, so that's at the bottom of the deck. There's also justice reverse at the bottom of the deck. Okay, we've got justice upright. This is a very appealing card, and not only is she just smoking beauty, but she's reserved and she's demure and she's covered. Okay, it's nothing but suggestion. Okay, her legs are closed. She is not here to give herself to you. She is self-possessed. Even though her interest may be piqued in you, she is self-possessed. When we're reversed right here, there's a closed off kind of quality to this. And this is, dealing with the energies and opportunities of doors being shut, and walls being put up, and I almost want to say the rules of the game being set in stone, where it's going to be important for us to really pay attention to the rules of the game. We've got to pay attention to the rules of the game, and we've got to find out. And it's not bad that justice, in this deck at least, it's not bad that justice is reverse. But what it is telling us is that through justice, some opportunities have come and some opportunities have go. Some boundaries have been built and some boundaries have been moved, okay, and that there are certain parameters that we need to operate in, okay. So here, let's get to the heart of this, and we are at the world card reverse, okay. So when we got the world here, guys. Now, a lot of us in this reverse energy, I completely understand that. Like, we are all relating to some difficult relationships in some of these alignments going on. So when we've got the world card reverse right here, we're looking at this beautiful couple, both of them powerful and beautiful. We see these celestial animals or archangels, okay, constellations around them. This woman is full and just full of support, full of bounty, full of she's just reveling in the situation, but she's also admired. She's being admired. When we're looking at it in reverse, what we're kind of realizing is that there may be more to the situation than we fully realize. Now, when we remember, those of you who study tarot, is that the World card is actually a hermaphrodite. Okay, and that in between her legs, which are always covered in the World cards, generally with the Rider-Waite emphasis, is that that she has a phallus covered up here. And so when we're looking at this reverse, we're noticing that this is kind of like an all that glitters isn't gold kind of card. And this is this is a kind of like, look carefully at what you think is so amazing, because there may be some surprise that some more than you want to bite off, between those legs and in the sheets there with your lover. Okay, there may be something about our lovers that is more than meets the eye. Okay, and there may be those, especially when we've got the High Priestess, another chaste character in this deck, covered, okay, suggestive. She's reaching her own sexual peak. She's coming into her own sexual powers and interests. Okay, this can definitely be about self-serving yourself sexually. Okay, and loving yourself, especially when we see it in the reverse. This could be to the point of self-love, to the point of when we talk about philatia in the seventh Greek love, that it's a little bit too much self-love, to the point where it's interfering with your other activities and interfering with your other responsibilities in the relationship. Now, with this, with these two covered like this, with the World and the High Priestess crossing each other. Let me look it up, because this is like, whenever we get major arcanas, I like to cross-check them with my Golden Dawn reference here. Loneliness, one who knows too much, a medium, and autistic. Okay, so yeah, really what's happening here in this relationship, guys, is that we're clearly faced with some challenging relationship. We're clearly faced with someone that we kind of trust and kind of don't trust. We're clearly looking at things from a situation of wondering, knowing everything is not that what meets the eye. And as we see that this High Priestess is reversed, we know that the truths and the mysteries that she holds, these things are starting to reveal in this unfolding, this opening of a vulva, this opening like a flower, that the truth is manifesting, and that that the body is opening, and the truth is being revealed here. And I see that in both cards. So we've got to realize that in these relationships, those of us who are lonely, we've got to free ourselves. And again, these are all reverse cards for the most part. We've got an Ace of Wands reverse. Okay, this Ace of Wands reverse is really talking about, an opportunity for a passionate start, pregnancy even, that is kind of, I hate to say the word aborted. Okay, this is a potential relationship that has gone up in flames instead of being everything that it was promised to be. Okay, so where some of us are sitting here with a great sense of disappointment, because we knew that this relationship had certain potentials, and now this relationship has it's kind of in shambles. And this kind of these labor pains have happened, and there was no one there for you. Okay, there was no one really there for you. We've got the judgment in the past. We've got the judgment card again reversed. Okay, so we're looking here. We're looking at this entire family that's bound together and tied up together. But when we're reversed, we're really starting to wonder. Okay, like who am I holding on to? Why am I holding on to these things? Okay, there's a child involved. Okay, there's a family here that they all work together. These are three people that actually are of the same body and of the same blood and of the same flesh because of their sexual relationship with each other and the fact that they have a child. Okay, so these are definitely three aspects of an individual: the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the divine child. And when we're looking at this reverse, we have to realize that these divine elements of ourselves should be calling to. We're calling to that higher power. We're calling to that higher self, that holy guardian angel, that glorified self of the millennial kingdom. We're calling to that archangel. We're calling to those spirit guides. Okay, and we were looking for support, and we've thrown ourselves toward them, and we've thrown ourselves toward spirituality. We've thrown ourselves toward the heavens, and we're pleading with the heavens to, come save me, justify me, help me. Okay. And this is when we even, if you look into the etymology of the name Yeshua in the Hebrew scriptures, the story of Yeshua, Jesus. Okay, so now we've got this reverse in our heads. We've got the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Okay, with the Seven of Pentacles reversed in this deck, we're really noticing that things are disorganized. People are having different motivations and wanting to go in different ways. People are having false starts. Some people are starting on shaky ground, and some are on solid ground. Some are on no ground at all. Okay. All right. At this point, we don't know who's on first, whose legs are whose, and which way are we going? What are we trying to do? We don't know if it's two people, three people, or something else going on. Okay. We've got to realize that with the Seven of Wands reverse, we're wondering about how we can move ourselves. We can take what we've been working on. We can take what we've the quintessential elements of our heart and our love and what we want to offer and what we've been developing in ourselves. We know that we have the ability to isolate that special quality of ourselves and move it into better relationships, move it into better areas, and we have the power to tease ourselves out of these difficult relationships as we start to free ourselves. And part of this new love needs to be new love for ourselves. Part of these red flags are the red flags that we already know about this person, okay, about our lover. Okay, we already know how to read these red flags and look and find, out if this person is on the up and up or not. We know the telltale signs already, and we're going to be able to move. We're going to be able to move that essential piece of ourselves into a place of greater stability. Now, this is the future position, the material future, and we see that this card is actually upright. Okay, so that's really good. To have the Four of Pentacles upright is telling us that we are going to hold on to our love. Okay, that we are going to sit still. We are not going to act. We are going to actually let situations act out upon themselves. Now, this woman is not necessarily being violated, especially in the upright position. Okay, this can definitely be part of their seductive charm. We see that this man is, clearly not some intruder. He's nude and in a bath towel. Okay, so he's a part of this scenario. He's not some dangerous villain as we look at this card here. And this woman is being touched and caressed, and that's what's happening to us. Is that people are there's a certain quality of people or individual. I would say people specifically, kind of pawing and discovering things about our relationships and unpeeling things and unraveling things. There are people involved in these relationships that are not you and me. Okay, there are people involved in this relationship that are looking into the relationship and they're starting to peel it back. They want to open it up and they want to understand what has made this relationship tick. Those of you who are I'm seeing consecutive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 to 2021. Got 1, 1, 2, 2 ones. Okay, so I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got 2, 20, and 21 here. So and I've got 7 and 8. So what I do see with these numbers moving in a forward motion generally is saying that this is a great progress. Okay, that there's a great progress going on here. And as we're progressing to the end in the situation here, there's a certain element of just laying back and surrendering to these things. You have done everything you need to do. She's done her hair. She's gotten her skin done. She's gotten her outfit. Okay, she's got her shoes on. She's got her little fan, and she's chilling. She knows what's up. And this guy is working for her. Okay, so this is someone who is really holding themselves self-possessed, self-determined, and enticing, because people are coming to you to ask. People are going to be coming to you to ask. All of these people who are unraveling your relationship and unpackaging, and all of these extra characters are going to come to you and ask for a greater reference on what's going on. They're going to want to understand you and get to know you better. And I think that the important thing for us is to be non-combative and to be non-aggressive in these situations, and realize that these people are working for our greater good. Okay. And our situation is reiterated with the 3 of spades. You know, this element of heartbreak. Oh, no, you didn't. Look at this witch. It's not just a woman, y'all. This is a witch. Okay? This woman is like, no, 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 no. You think I'm helpless? You think I don't see? You think I'm not a part of what's going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. Ooh, okay. Okay, so she is trying to manifest some magic here that is most likely about domination, protection, relationships, dominate, to control and protect relationships, and not let some other person come and. Now this one is this one has a certain violation quality to it, because even though this man is supposedly playing the harp, and even though they're probably in a sexual situation, there is a clear manipulation here that he's trying to play her like a harp. Okay, she is intoxicated with his music. She is enraptured. She is more interested in her own self-pleasure other than the facts of what's going on around her. When you've got the 3 of spades, we've got people who are facing heartbreak. Okay, a third-party situation that needs to be interrupted and disrupted and broken off. And that the only reason that there are 3 people involved here is that one of the players is orchestrating it. Okay, so there is some orchestration going on in our environment, but that's ultimately leading us to a heartbreak, and it's a violation of trust. Okay, and that's what's really frustrating about this. Now we've got the situation with the 8 of swords, and and it's again, okay, is these shadowy figures. I'm telling you that other people are involved in our relationship. There are shadowy figures lurking behind. Now, this one isn't a witch. This one is a creature. Okay, a daemon, a demon, a Nephilim, a fawn, a satyr. Okay, and now this woman is actually, and in some ways, she's bound. We see her one arm here. Okay, we don't know if she's trying to scratch that dude off of her, but she has no power in this situation. Okay, the power that she has is power that's given to her. In this situation, there is a mental, this is a bit like the devil card, because it's just a mental trap. Okay, now the devil isn't, the devil or someone typically isn't necessarily over you, but it is this idea, and if you've ever been in a romantic situation with someone, and maybe that person is bigger or stronger than you, there can be times where you have this wave of fear, this wave of insecurity, especially if this is a lover and who you don't know their strength, you don't know their power, and so that wave of fear though is still all about you. That person who may be bigger or stronger or for whatever reason intimidating isn't necessarily going to hurt you or even giving off those signals, but it's some realization that, wow, I'm very vulnerable. So we're in a vulnerable position. There's heartbreak and vulnerability at the base, okay, for this week, okay? There's heartbreak and vulnerability. There are people in the back who are manipulating situations, who are watching, okay? A witch and a little devil dude. Okay, I like satyrs though, and witches. So, all right. Anyway, so these people are behind, and now we even see this green, the same green cloak. Ooh, let me switch these over. I wonder if they fit better. Okay, got this same green curtain here, y'all. Okay, people are peeking in. People are peeking in on your love affair and your relationship. People are want to say who's got the power and who doesn't. Who's and there's manipulation on. There's manipulation from you know there are spiritual forces that are involved here, but there's also manipulation coming from a male energy. Okay, and there's a self enraptured, self preoccupied energy from the female energy, and we see that in both of these cards here. Okay, okay, coming up to some of our hopes and fears and our subconscious mind and the things that we don't know that we know, the things that we don't know that we can do, and the resources that we don't necessarily know that we have is the magician. Now again, as we're talking about manipulation, okay, now this dude is a hunk. He is not here with anyone. Okay, this dude is a master of love who loves himself and loves others, but is still not attached and is still not bound and obligated. Okay, there's a lot of fool energy here in his single quality and how he can, kind of just pick and choose, what he wants to play with. If he wants to play with deep romantic emotions and allure and potions and enticement of the senses, if he wants to deal with passionate, visceral, visual, pornographic experiences, if he wants to, and now look, these two elements here are the same to him. He can wield them both quite powerfully and offensively. So these are his elements of now, actually, this is element of earth here, guys, with the statue. Remember, this is just a statue with a candle on top. It may not even be an actual candle holder. Is it a candle holder? Yeah, but this is also a fire element, and this is a fire element, but this is also an earth element due to the statue quality, and the table itself brings out that earth element. So we see this dude with fire and air right here in his hands. The fire and air are going to work together to generate power, okay, to generate energy. All right. He can deal with that energy, and he can ground that energy, and he can extinguish it if he has to. Okay. But that's what is in our subconscious is a great sense of power, a great sense of authority, a great ability to manifest, a great ability to call in both masculine and feminine energies into ourselves, not just earth, air, fire, water. But we've got to not only think of the 4 directions, we need to think of the 6 directions. We've got to think of up and down. Okay. And that's when we're talking about the positive and negative polarities. And that's when we're talking about the yin yang. And that's when we're talking about the male, female. Okay. So when we have this in our subconscious, we have a great sense of power and authority and ability to change. But the things that we say and the things that we do are going to be a direct result of our subconscious hopes and desires. Okay. And our subconscious goals. So it's going to be important for us to really meditate and get in touch with what we're really desiring. As we come to the 2 of Pentacles, the final spiritual outcome before my next layer here is that we've got the 2 of Pentacles. And, this is someone who is, the Pentacles in general is someone who is really trying to get a flow of their resources and their energies, who's able to balance energies flowing back and forth between 2 different subject areas or 2 different endeavors and 2 different, it could be work and home. It could be 2 different jobs. It could be, different relationships and just it's a sense of juggling, but it's not careless juggling. And we're happy that this card is upright. So when we look at this gentleman, and I want to actually start with a star. We're going to zoom out. We're going to see this young lady here who has a star quality to her. This is going to suggest a star card to us also, okay? And a high priestess quality to this as a 2 card also, okay? So we know that this woman has her own mysteries and her own hidden things going on here. And we see that this gentleman here is trying to carefully unpackage this issue and trying to carefully juggle how he's going to finesse this young lady to turn around and be preoccupied with him. He's also kind of trying to peek over her shoulder at the mysteries and what she's looking at and what she's gazing at. He's not just looking at her back, but he might be looking over her shoulder. Okay. And then we see these herbs. These look to me like bay and some kind of leaf. I need to research and see what these leaves are. Okay. But this is an extension of this woman's will, her intoxicating charm. Okay. And that there is actually an ability and a finesse here in this card, not just this guy's watching her maybe even make, think of mixed drinks or something like that. He's like, oh wow, that's how you make a Cosmo. Okay. And she's just setting the scene. Okay. She's setting this stuff up. So we see that this is a card that says that things have not quite consummated, that things have not quite reached a final outcome, that there's still a juggling that needs to be done. And this is where we're looking at paying attention to the red flags. Okay. Is that we've got to really pay attention to the details. And we've got to really try to make sure that we've dotted our I's here, okay, and crossed our T's when it comes to the details. So that we are, and this is again another concept of the temperance card, of this kind of alchemical elixir, or who knows what's going on behind her form. Okay, all right, okay, but she's growing in power. Whatever's happening, she's growing in power. Okay. Whatever's happening in the future, we see that it's growing in power. We've got the 2 and the 4 here, the 2 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles. This is saying that these 2 women here are highly desirable. They are in power. That they are magnetic. That they are not occupied. That the other lover is preoccupied with them and seeking them and desires them and wants to fix these things with them. And we've got to remember here that when we put the 2 and the 4 together, that this has to do with the 6 of Pentacles. And this has to do with bills being paid, resources moving, money flowing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And this concept of flow, Okay. So that was really interesting. Okay. So there's a concept of flow here. And what the ultimate truth here, guys, is that we're coming to a place of peace. We're coming to a place where money is actually going to be coming to us from a relationship. We're going to have money to either separate ourselves from a relationship or somehow reshape the parameters of this relationship and this relationship dynamic. That there are different people in the background who we need to pay attention to those red flags and look at the different characters who are influencing you and your partner. Okay. Some of us who are in those third parties, we've got to look, and we need to know who that third party, we need to know who it is. Okay. All right. Let me get some more for you, Bo. I'm not going to do this deck. Get even raunchier. Okay, guys. You want some light? I don't know. I think the light's fine. Okay, that's good. All right, here we go. All right, now we're about to take our Demarcan deck. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We're going to overlay this, and we're going to see more specific details about what the heck is happening here. Okay, and so we're trying to break up. We're trying to break free. We're trying to break free from this manipulation. We're trying to find our own individual power. Okay, we're trying to have answers to some of these ongoing mysteries and questions. Okay, we're trying to have the truth revealed of those who are behind the scenes, pulling strings and manipulating. Okay, and what we need to do is walk in our own power. We need to walk into our own power and not be in a codependent power situation. Okay, your power is not based on that relationship with this other person. Okay, at the bottom here we've got let me just lay these out quickly. Okay, we've got Death, the Star. We've got the Nine of Swords has come out reversed, which is good. We've got the Nine of Cups upright, in our actionable past. We've got, oh lordy, we got the 10 of denarii, the 10 of pentacles, reverse. Okay, and we've got the star reverse, the death reverse. We've got the sun reverse in the current situation. We've got the ace of cups upright with that magician. Woo, good. And we've got the 3 of cups upright in our final outcome. So that's not bad, guys. Okay, we're coming out of a difficult time here. Yeah, we're coming. We're coming to some of these cards are really, really raunchy. I should like read my YouTube agreement. I don't really know. Just make sure you're 18 or over. You're watching this. Okay. All right. So let's get this popping. That's what that cat says. All right, here we go. So now we're looking here at the, again, what we're working with. We've got this Ace of Wands, which is clarified by this 9 of Spades. And some of us, out of all the trash talk, we're just not interested. Out of all the bull that we've been going through, all the drama, all the difficulty, and this like, almost like an aborted situation, like where I was going to keep going. Some of this is telling us don't give up. Some of us you don't give up. Okay. Don't give up on this potential new prize that could be at your feet. Some of you see that even though there's this, the analogy is the analogy of pregnancy. Okay. The analogy is the analogy of pregnancy and support from a lover. Okay. Now, even if this lover isn't here, it doesn't mean that the baby is not going to be there. Okay. That you've still got the baby. You still got the creativity. You still got the talent. You still got that 7 of Pentacles, that pentacle that you've, if you know the 7 of Pentacles, there's still that one that you've isolated for yourself that is going to be okay and that is stable. We see that one foot on that broken glass, but this other foot knows that there's stable ground to step on, and this one is standing on stable ground and getting traction and moving forward. Okay, so this is what's happening, is that we are moving forward. Okay, we are moving forward, and we are healing from some of these, some of the raunchy things that have been said about us. Okay, and people putting words in our mouth, people holding us back, people exposing us. Okay, people abusing us, casting dark shadows over us. Okay, this is upside down. Okay, this is upside down. We're now some of us are realizing we've got teeth in our mouth and we can bite that sucker down. Okay, we can bite down on something in our mouth. Somebody trying to put words in your mouth, chomp those suckers right, chomp those suckers up. Okay, now we've got the coming back from the past to clarify this judgment reverse and this family and judgment reverse. We've got the 9 of Cups. So, when we're looking at this judgment reverse, some of us, this is our wish fulfilled. Some of us we're really looking to separate from this relationship and have this family respond in a new dynamic. Okay. This is super raunchy. Okay. So this is this, old guy with this young woman. Okay, he's quite lucky. Now, actually, this woman shows up several times. I've got to read the story on this woman. I think that she's like working through a group of people. She's got an agenda. Okay, she's got an agenda. Now, look at this old guy and this young woman. He can't even keep up with her. She's doing all the work. Okay, she's doing all the work. He's getting all the reward. So that's who you want to be. You want to be that old man who's just chilling back and relaxing and just being flooded and overwhelmed and bombarded with love and emotion and opportunity and abundance and whatever kind. And you don't necessarily, you want to really pick in who is in your family that's going to be a part of this. And by reorganizing your family, you're finding things are running in a much more efficient way. And there's a certain managerial sense that's come from the past, or people who are really trying to craft a certain, not just kind of like have their family. They want to craft their family. They want to shape their family. They want to build their family into something. Okay, people with ambition, people with legacy. That's who we are. Some of us have ambitions for our families. Okay, and we believe in them, and we believe in the scenario of our family's excellence. Okay, when we've got the ace of we've got the ace of, sorry, I got my cards mixed up. I remember. Okay, so when we got the ace, no, there is no ace. I keep saying that. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. We've got the 10 of Pentacles reversed, all right? So now we've got this happy home. We've got this guy who has just found his lovely woman, and this woman who has found her someone that she loves and she wants to give to and provide for with abundance and show her excellence to. And you know, these people are so in love that this is definitely a morning after card, okay? Where the charm hasn't worn off. Okay. And this 10 of Pentacles, the charm doesn't wear off, y'all. It just gets better and better every day. But this is reverse. This is in our head. Okay. We've got to realize that, again, with that 7 of Pentacles, we've been working. We've been working hard on our money. We've been working hard to build something. We've been putting in the time. We've been putting in the effort. We've been doing the legwork that's been needed. Okay, some of us have been like just doing every task that's necessary to please some other people, and maybe they still feel that it's just not enough. Maybe he just has that blasé feeling, like, oh my god, I gotta eat this banana bread again. And this girl's like, oh, you got enough my banana bread? And he's like, oh my god, this banana bread again. All right, so when we're dealing with these reverse energies, guys, you know, this is all has to do with our own mental bondage. Okay, coming up to the material outcome, we've got the star reverse. Not only did we have the star reverse, which is telling us that truths are going to be exposed and revealed, we've got next to it, we've got the high priestess from the prior deck. Okay, we've got the high priestess reverse and the star reverse. Now, I'm not going to show this simply because I know that is actually, I know that could be quite risky. Okay. But what we cannot see is this woman is urinating in this cup here. Okay. She's holding a vessel. She's holding a cup. Okay. And that this woman in this card, we've got to say that she's anointed, that she's a special entity, maybe even alien-esque in a way, and that she's come down from above to do a special mission. Okay, but when we were reversed right here, we've got a trickster in our midst. We've got a nefarious character. Okay, we've got someone who's just here to play jokes and tricks and splash pee-pee around, and this dude is watching her like, that's not that cool. He's not watching her, but he's starting to sense her. His eyes are closed, but he's starting to sense there's mischief going on here. Something bogus is going on here. Something fishy is going on here. Okay. Somebody's saying something. I hear something talking, but I don't know if it's true. This card in the Rider-Waite also reminds me of the internet. Okay. So, we are holding on to. Yeah, we're holding on to our personal revelations, y'all. Okay. This is part of that red flags card again. We're holding on to our truth. We're holding on to our own knowledge of how the world is supposed to work. We're holding on to what we think is supposed to be the up and up, and our values. We're not looking and succumbing to the values of others. We're not succumbing to the values of the gods necessarily, and saying that we've got to always embody this great highest energy. Some of us are really trying to build our savings. Okay, and we want to do things without everyone's eye. Some people are being watched and being are kind of on the spot for some things that they have said and done. Okay, and we've got at the bottom, clarifying the 3 of Swords, and this heartbreak is this death reverse. Okay, I always do this as the Freddy card. It's like, when you hear that, you know, like the bad guy's around. All right. So now we see this dude's like, I see you. This girl is not looking. She's preoccupied with her ancestor, okay, who has passed and gone on. Okay. And this energy is a little bit predatory. This one definitely has a predatory quality to it. He's searching, he's looking, he's getting through all of her layers of abundance, all of her layers of life, all the layers of the things that she appreciates as a living conscious creature, as she reflects on her own mortality and the mortality of her friends and bygone lovers and bygone family members. okay, and how she can start to approach this situation, okay? Hunting for us. We're being held down and pinned down. You're trying to get up and run. Run, run, get up, girl, run. He's coming. Okay, that's the situation going on now, y'all. Okay, so that's what's going on. There is heartbreak. There is a villainous kind of vibe here going on. This kind of like, I've got to break free of this. Okay, some of us, we can't panic. Okay, you cannot panic. You just got to know that you are going to have your time to go your separate way. As that time approaches. Now we've got the to clarify this Eight of Swords in our Raunchy romance reading. To clarify this Eight of Swords, we've got the Sun reverse. Okay. Now when we look at the Sun card in this Raunchy romance deck, this is two boys, two knights who've disarmed, who've exposed themselves, who share that their feelings for each other. They've taken the risk. Okay. Now they're completely exposed bare on the hot sun. Okay, reaching for each other, touching each other. Okay, but this is reverse. Now this is still a kid's card. And now when we look at this card reverse, we are getting the vibe here, guys, of like, yo, like, you know, okay, now if you look at this card carefully, you realize his feet, his are on top, and his hands are on top of that boy. Okay, okay, this is just too much. Okay, this boy is not ready. He is not ready for this. Okay, it's a little too intense. Okay, so some of us are in situations that we are bound, and this is clarifying the Eight of Swords. So by being bound, you know, in our headspace and in these circumstantial things that aren't even real, and in these kind of laws or rules or expectations that aren't real barriers, but they're just norms and customs that we're dealing with. That you know. It's just too intense. These norms and customs are too intense. You know, following these rules of this relationship and these expectations is too intense. It's too much. Okay, and we don't have to do that. We've got to remember that we are the magician, and we've got this incredible chalice right here. Okay, the Ace of Chalice. This is a dude who is working his butt. He's like, I love you so much. I'm going to lift you up and glorify you. I'm going to do whatever it takes to carry you over this threshold. I love you. I love you. I love you. And we've got this. You ever remember the fish in the Rider-Waite deck that jumps out with the Page of Cups? This reminds me of that fish right there. This you know, this lovely woman here, this strong man, and you know, they're in love, and this is part of, you know, it is a little bit burdensome for this guy. But those of you who've ever carried someone over the threshold, it's worth it. Okay, it's a blast. Okay, so that is telling us that there's an opportunity here that some of us are really manifesting a great love and a great relationship. Some of us are sweeping someone off of their feet. Okay, this is again with the magician. We have manifest with power. Okay, and we have called love in, and we've carried love away, and we've brought love to our door. We have got that power, y'all. We have got that ability. We have got the chutzpah. We've got the knowledge and the experience and the resources to really make this love pop. Okay. Coming up to the final outcome, clarifying this Two of Pentacles is clarified by the Three of Cups. Now this is remember that brunette woman I told you about was kind of working her way around in this deck. There's so much. I have to really research this deck a little bit more. Okay. All right. So this is where this woman starts. Okay. This woman actually starts here. Okay. She starts here in this Three of Cups. She's very innocent and clothed and vulnerable and unassuming and naive. And she just sees this nice Santa type guy. Hey, Santa, and she's quite innocent. But then Santa's like, hey, come sit on my lap. Okay. And now we're realizing that there's something here, okay? There's something here that we can work with. A Three of Cups is talking about a rendezvous, a meeting with your lover, a meeting with friends and family, reuniting with those that you love and you wish to be around. Okay. Okay, again, this is the same woman in the Nine of Swords, and this is the same woman in the Nine of Chalices. Nine of Cups. Okay, so this is that same female figure who's discovering herself sexually. She's with older men. She's with dominating men. Okay, she's with highly flirtatious men. Okay, um, and and in other cards we see where these two go, and they take it to the next step. But when we've got to realize that when this is with the Two of Pentacles, this again is about juggling and manifestation. This is about us preparing worlds. We are preparing to receive. We are preparing to receive. Okay, we are preparing to receive. That someone is going to come in, that there is going to be this penetration into our life, that there is a relationship that is going to come and open us up in a new way, and that's what we want. Okay, we are manifesting these. We've got these two manifesting hardcore. The woman in green, we see her mixing. We see this magician, and then with our next tarot, we've got the Ace of Cups and the Three of Cups. Okay, so we are calling in that love. We are opening ourselves up. We are becoming vulnerable. We are ready. Some of us are ready to take that risk. Okay, some of us are ready to feel something new with someone else. Okay, some of us are ready to have that touch and that caress and that kiss of a love from a different lover, from a different person. Some of us it's not about a third party. It's about exchanging one person and for another. Okay, and saying, you were good for a time and a reason and a season, but now I'm on to bigger, better, broader, and more girthier things. Okay, yeah. Okay, so guys, that is actually not bad. That's been a 36-minute reading. That's not too bad. I'm going to actually add on another. Well, I could do another video. I kind of want to do a money reading. Okay, so I'm going to do a money reading right now. Just because, why not? I actually want to use my, and here's the beautiful thing about money. Money, I should have done yesterday, but here's the beautiful thing about money and relationships. Money is very similar to there's very similar energy of money and dealing with relationships and love. Okay, and those of you who are able to attract love. And a lot of times you're able to attract money. It's just a sense of surrounding yourself with elemental power, okay, and resources. Surrounding yourself with love, surrounding yourself with wealth, surrounding yourself with knowledge and learning. These are all essentially these in many ways are about abundance and the abundance of mana. Okay, kind of an energy or an aether. Okay, so they can manifest in the earth realm, or fire, water, earth, air, fire, or water. So and when we're looking at money and love, we just got to realize that it's just that love shining through the earth element. All right, hit me with that money, baby. Okay. Got the Page of Pentacles. Some information and news is coming in about money that is going to, which is crossed by Temperance, which is going to bring us into a great, a very nice balance here. Okay, a very nice balance here. We're going to be able to set some long-term projects in motion, and we're going to be able to do a lot of self-care and healing and balance to our finances. Okay, some of us are going to be able to put deposits down and put some money down on things that are going to open up a lot of doors and opportunities, move forward in business, entrepreneurial opportunities. Some of us are going to be able to restock our shelves. This is a restocking your product line. This is some of us altering our product line and working on our marketing. Yeah, some marketing is definitely involved here. We've got the Ace of, and now remember in the love reading, that this was also at our feet, the Ace of Wands reverse. So we see that the money and love are very similar. Okay, we've got this reverse. We've got this turned down. That there is This one is really in this situation is kind of telling me that where there's smoke, there's fire. But so some of us need to that's paying attention to those red flags, and that really uh, looking at any kind of like, yeah, any kind of issues that you starting to notice, like if you start to smell some fishy stuff, like you're like, oh, this is something that's not smelling right. You got to make sure that everything is, that there are no fires that could potentially blow up on you financially. Okay, so some of us need to really be looking into our financial matters and putting out fires before they happen. Okay, some of us really need to be paying off things before before they become an issue. Okay, this is also something that where you see a long-term vision of something that could open another door for you, but it's still so far away. There's still so much preparation that needs to be done. There's still so much thought and collaboration that needs to be done before this is in any way. This is almost like, okay, I want to build a fire. It's the Ace of Wands. I want to build a fire, but I'm going to build a fire when I go camping next summer and the forest with my friends, and this is down the way. Okay, this is down the way. You see that guy? See that house? One day I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna live in this castle. So this is one of those one day cards. One day. Okay, so but also we've got to make sure financially that we're not missing opportunities in areas that we're passionate about. Some of us are going back to financially going back and looking back at our old finances. This is the Six of Cups reverse. You're looking back at your old finances. You're looking back at the old way of your old spending habits. Okay, this is about making a budget. This is about earmarking money for different, putting money in different hats for different things, saving some money for later. Okay, so there have definitely been some earmarking going on and some budgeting going on, and that's been really good. Okay, because even though there's an entrepreneurial vibe here where it's important that the entrepreneurs that we are, and the manifestors that we are, and the lovers that we are looking down the road, and we're not just passionately throwing money around in the moment, but we're thinking in the future of what that money should be doing for us. This is that heartbreak card, and this is that survival of heartbreak. Some of us are parting with bills and debts. Some of us are parting with financial partners. Some of us are parting with, you're having some things forgiven. Some places that you've been investing, you may start to move your money in a different way. Some of us are having issues where our money is going to pop, and we're just waiting for this relationship to be over so that we can have another pop in our income. Some of us are having money that needs to go to children, okay, and that this is not a finished issue. That money needs to go to children, okay. Money needs to be handed over to children. Children having material goods that they need, not now, but also in the future. Old back issues need to be solved with money. Back debts, okay. Back debts need to be paid with money. Okay, back debts need to be paid. We're coming here to the future with our money, coming to the Queen of Swords reverse. With the Queen of Swords reverse, dealing with money, this is someone who could be quite selfish, and that uses their money in ways that they think are like snooty kind of holier than thou ways. Like really what I'm getting from this card is like, well, someone feeling like because they've got money, well, now I can say this to you, and that this money gives you power. The money does not give you power. The power is within you. The money is not giving us power. The money does not give you power. Okay. So those of you who are feeling like high and mighty because you've come into some money somehow, you've gotten this offer that to balance things out. Okay, it is not a time for you to get hoity-toity. It is not a time for you to get rude with people. It is not a time for you to be ungrateful. Okay, that this is a great sense of gratitude that needs to wash over us in the future when it comes to in terms of money. This is also denying people funds who are asking you for money. Okay, people who are saying, "Give me money, give me money, give me," and they want to. As soon as you reach your hand out to give them something, they want to take your whole hand off too. They want to take the money and your hand off. Okay, forget that. We're not having that. We're not having people who are coming to exploit us and use us and take from us at all. Okay, that energy is not going to be here with us at all. Okay. Some of us have been looking back into our family, looking at the spending in our family. This is, again, that child thing where it's like, let me reevaluate where the money is going to as far as in my family and how I can allocate resources to specific individuals. And so that it's a larger overall strengthening. Okay. Larger strengthening to your whole family by using your money strategically. That money may be focused on one person, but by helping this one person and investing in this one person, it may help balance out your overall family. Okay, there may be issues here where your family needs money, and that the issue is how do I deal with how do I balance being generous and investing in myself versus letting money just roll out, which I don't want to do. Okay. The situation here in money, career, work, finance type stuff is this strength reverse. Now, this is saying that we've got some of us have some big ideas. Some of us have some big businesses. Okay. Some of us have some things that have already been started and need to be fed. Okay. Some of us have some startups that need more attention. These startups need to be fed. We need to kind of look through and find any kind of issues going on in our startup, that any small tweaks that need to, like almost like picking fleas off of a dog. Like, you've got to just start to go through things, go through files, go through copywritten stuff, go through maybe even your employee roster, and start to pay attention and care for each little thing and have a very nurturing energy here, because we've got to realize that we are the sum of our parts. Okay, that especially when we're talking about business, you are the sum. Your business and your success, so to speak, is the sum of all of these things working together. Okay, and it can be quite overpowering, and we've got to surrender to that power, and we've got to cater to what we've already started and conceived of and already created. Okay, we've got to cater to it. We've got to supply it. We've got to nurture it. We've got to feed it. Okay, in our subconscious, and the things that are not necessarily known to us, is that the environment is that we're not hoping to fight. We're not hoping to be contentious. We're not hoping to have rivals. We want things to be on an even ground. We want a square footing. We want to be able to have one clear idea and be able to make all of our ideas fall in tow behind it. Okay, look at this dude. This dude is the guy who's, all these dudes are like kind of messed up. This dude is like, hey, hold it like this, dummies. Okay. So this guy is the man with the plan. Okay. And what we need is not to fight with these guys, but these guys need to fall in line. They need to listen. Okay. And so what's that saying is that there is an ability here, especially as we go through. This is really looking at the fine details. This is, again, where we're talking about developing a budget in our history. So I hope that some of us have done that. This is, again, something where we're looking back into our family and our needs and our normal resources and bills to sustain ourselves, and looking and kind of trying to find the pennies and if there's any leaks or anything going on here. Okay, if there's any red flags or smoke going in our family, if anybody's taking, if there's too much going in a certain direction, and us reorganizing that. And now we see in this situation here where we've got our startup that we need to take care of. We've got to nurture. We've got to feed. We've got to feed that startup. Okay. And we've got to be on even playing field here. Okay. So some of us are starting. This is what's carried on after the love reading. Now that we're in this money reading, we see that some of us are moving from the love relationship issues to looking at our financial issues and looking to our business issues and really trying to build ourselves up in our own creative businesses. Okay, we've got startup money here, guys. We've got startup money here. There's coming up to the now, and I'm going to pair these cards together. The Ace of Swords reverse. We've got the Ace of Swords reverse, talking about our money, and we don't want to be too. We don't want to give away all of our money, and we don't want to just be caught emotionally spending money. And we don't want people who are manipulative and are just going to take our money in our hand with it. And so some of that is going to be us being quiet about our money. Okay. having a hush hush kind of sense about it, okay? And holding some of it back. Hold some of that glam back. Hold some of that shine back, guys, okay? We do not want to draw attention. You don't want to draw attention to yourself. I think some of us are going to be shopping online also. And so what you don't want to do here right now in this part, when we're getting this offer, when this money comes in, okay, this information about healing our finances comes in, okay? When that comes in, guys, we it's not for everybody. Some of us are about to win the lotto or something like that, okay? You're about to get some kind of healing kind of like boom to kind of land on you. And I think the Ace of Pentacles is for me about opportunity. When I see the Page of Pentacles, this is about information exchange. So this is information that's going to inform us here. Okay, now I'm going to add my gold-plated cards to clarify in this next layer here as we're trying to see about the love of money. Money, money, money. I love you, baby. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, let's see what we got with the gold-plated. 24 karat. Now, I kid you not. These cards are lucky. Okay. All right. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Okay. All right. Here we go. So to clarify, at our feet, we've got the this 4 of clubs reversed. Believe it or not, this 4 deck of cards, but this is a 4 of clubs reversed. This is yeah. And now there are some issues around property. Okay. Some of us have lost opportunity, and I don't want to say lost opportunities of property, and this comes back here, but we need to be planning for property, okay? Some of us really need to be looking at the property that we have. We want to, this is, again, when I'm talking about smoke and fire, be careful at your property, okay? All right, you want to be careful with your property. You want to realize that you've got the ability to really start to put money away for that investment property, or somehow changing a lost opportunity from a property into liquid, okay, and reassessing what are your liquid assets here, okay. The 7 of clubs to clarify our budgeting. Okay. Yeah. Now this is budgeting to pay your bills. Okay. This is having that budget ready, being able to say, okay, I'm going to pay this off. 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 I'm going to set this over in settings, in my savings. But yeah, you're going to be able to start to squash some debt and squash some issues that have been lingering for a little while here. This could be debt from family debt. Okay. We've got the Jack of Diamonds to clarify the 3 of Hearts reverse here. Okay, when I've got the Jack of Diamonds here, guys, we are you're going to really pay attention to your long-term investment. Okay, and not only your long-term investment, but your long-term effort. Some of us have been putting effort into something that has been not beneficial and not working out. We need to really reevaluate where we're spending our time and what we're putting our ambitions into. We're really hunkering down and eking out for ourselves. As we're able to eke out this future, we got to remember that future is going to be on our own terms. That future is going to be separated from the previous status quo. We've got the 6 of spades to clarify the Queen of Swords here, with the 6 of spades to tell us that coming up towards the more literal future, we've got to. This is really about. This is about preparation, but this is about moving forward. This is about keeping things close to your chest. This is about making quiet, powerful moves, okay? Not being caught up in the emotion. We are definitely going to be making powerful moves, and we're going to have support. But the challenge for us with that Queen reverse, the Queen of Swords reverse, is that we've got to make sure that as we're making these power moves and we've got this support, That it's not our through our emotions or these kind of like flailing actions. Like I'm just going to get this. That there is nothing to prove with this money. This is some money coming in, y'all. Okay, we've got the clubs, the nine of clubs here. Yeah, you know, some of you are using your money and funds to defend your family. Okay, and defend your interests. The you know, using your money in a defensive way to protective way, or to create walls and barriers to isolate yourself from an enemy or an attack. Um, you know, so that's again to our budgeting. You know, and that's still like as we're squashing these challenges, we start to budget and we start to you know, really, like again, I keep saying earmark that money for your true values and your true cores and your true passions. I've got the again, this is connecting to the two of wands reverse. Okay, this two of clubs reverse. This is again about keeping your information hush hush. Going back to the drawing board, re-looking at your plans, realizing you need to start to look at the plans of projects that you've already created. Look at those plans and see if this is still the marketing group that you want to speak to, the demographic that you want to speak to, the product line that you're interested in. If this is still your marketing mix, you know, we've got to really go back to the drawing board with the something that's already in motion, but going back to the drawing board to figure out how we can optimize. Okay, we've got a lot of things going on that need to be optimized. We've got now the ace of spades paired with the five of, to clarify, the five of wands reverse. Now this is again starting at, we're really hoping and seeing that there's an opportunity for us to start you know, to really start something, to start a fresh message. Okay, a fresh message that will be able to translate to many people, and that setting up ourselves on a platform, we'll be able to speak to many people at once, that everyone will receive our words and offers equally, that our groups are not so exclusive. Okay, this is those of you who are dealing with really small exclusive clientele and small tutorial groups and small teaching groups. This is where you want to actually you really want to make sure that everyone is getting the information disseminated evenly, and you really want to make sure that people are able to operate independently, and that people are able to apply your product and your teaching to different areas of their life as they need. This is some of us who we are not quite ready to expand until we start to see these planets moving direct, especially Mercury. Okay. This is a lot of us stepping backtracking in our business plans, in our business models, okay, with the companies we have already started, with the startups that are already there, with the products that we have already launched, okay, stepping back, tweaking, fine-tuning, updating for the current environment. This is not a time to necessarily start some brand new thing, okay? This is a time to step back and refine what's already been put in motion. Because again, as we reach this, you know, as we reach this six of spades here, yeah, you've got to use your money. You've got to take this money that's coming in, make sure that every dollar that comes is making more money, okay, and that all of your money is productive and multiplying. It's important for you to raise your profits and to this is really about optimization and optimizing profits, focusing in on what is going to really give the yield and the return of the time and energy and finances that we've already invested. Some of us are starting a startup over and over, okay, and trying to fix it and learn how to get it right, okay. Yeah. So here we are with the three of diamonds at the bottom of the deck, telling us to really pay attention to the details, the fine print, look at the actual plans and stick to the path. Okay, things may seem avant-garde to others, things may seem easy to others, things may seem magical to others, but you know that you've got a plan, and it's about hard work, and it's about being committed to your team, committed to your passion, committed to your project, committed to the life form, that business that you've created. Okay, it's just a child. Okay, so we've got to be committed to that, so that we see so we see so we really see this money starting to move for us in a way that is building us up, building up, and smashing debt, smashing excess, smashing leakages, and little nickels and dimes getting trickled out in fees and stuff like that here and there. Okay, so shoring up our funds, shoring up our accounts, making sure that we don't have any holes punctured. That's what we've got to do. And this is perfect for Mercury retrograde. This is perfect for Mercury retrograde. Okay, is to take the time and go back over the details. Okay, yeah, some of us have got money coming, and this money is just going to help us to enrich ourselves. Don't try anything crazy and new and avant-garde with this money. Don't try to go floss with this money. Don't tell everybody about your money. Don't go show off your money. Okay, but money is definitely loving you. All right, guys, this was fun. Thank you so much. Don't like me, love me. Don't love me, sub me. Don't sub me, baby. Ring my bell. All right. Thanks for joining me here. Tarot by THC. My name is Lucky. Check out below if you guys want some private readings and you want to know about how these issues affect you in general. I am going to try to be more consistent with my Thursday money readings separate from my Friday raunchy romance. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. See you next time.